get ready for the morning rush.
A quick wrap up of your news and weather. We start with Kristen Curry.
All right, we'll begin with the next big weather maker. Still tracking showers and storms out there now, with more to come this afternoon, favoring areas along and east of the central mountains here. Looking at more spotty activity within the Rio Grande Valley and a little bit further off to the west, but we still have more of the rain showers on the way for this evening. Crystal?
Head out the door. We're following the day's top local stories. We start with Catherine Mazzone.
Crystal, another policy review in the wake of Victoria Martin's murder. Several top Albuquerque schools officials and staff experts on abuse are set to discuss the process for reporting child abuse. APS wants to try to save more kids like Victoria, whose own mother is suspected in her murder. Right now, any employee who suspects abuse is required to report it. Anyone who doesn't faces a misdemeanor with a penalty of up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. The meeting today is at 10:30 at APS headquarters. Back to you.
City and county leaders will likely begin looking into developing more programs to help put an end to child abuse. This after a special meeting held last night where idea after idea was pitched by community and local agencies. The main topics community leaders touched on included funding to improve drug treatment, mental health services, and child abuse prevention. In the past, a task force was created and child abuse liaisons worked with law enforcement. But both city and APS reps say there needs to be more. Fernanda?
There's a push for Albuquerque city councilors to require a zoning change and public hearing before work can start on a garbage transfer station in the North Valley. That's according to the Albuquerque Journal. The city wants to use current zoning rules to turn the corner of Edith and Griegos into a transfer station. Dump trucks would drop off loads of trash to be hauled to the landfill west of town. Neighbors say they're concerned about increased traffic and odor.
On to news new at 6. Preliminary numbers show $60 million in bond money will go through for Rio Rancho Public Schools. According to the Albuquerque Journal, about 75% of voters said yes to the general obligation bond sale. The money will go to funding technology infrastructure, security upgrades, and much more. That includes $24.5 million to be used at a new elementary school, likely near Unser and south of Northern.
Donald Trump travels to Mexico today to meet privately with the country's president before delivering a major speech on immigration in Arizona tomorrow. The Republican nominee continued to court the minority vote in Washington state yesterday, but gave little insight into his big address.
On to the Democratic news now. The FBI is expected to release documents as early as today related to its investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of private email server during her time as Secretary of State. The State Department revealed yesterday it has about 30 unseen emails recovered from Clinton's server. Those emails related to the 2012 Benghazi attacks could be released next month.
Parts of Colorado cleaning up after severe weather hit the state. This is video from Adams County near Denver yesterday. The storm brought hail and heavy rain to the area. The water caused flash flooding to lead to problems for drivers, but no one was seriously hurt.
On to news happening now in Hawaii. People are preparing their homes and businesses as 2 hurricanes are making their way to the islands. Hurricane Madeline has lost strength, weakening from a Category 3 storm to a Category 2. Meanwhile, Hawaii's governor signed an emergency proclamation for Madeline and Category 4 Hurricane Lester. Forecasters are expecting the storm conditions through Thursday. Kristen?
Metro Threat Index for today out of 4. It's going to be in between 4 and 5 like what we had yesterday, although our rain chances are actually picking up as we finish the week. Heavy rain, gusty winds, and lightning a possibility with any of these storms that make it into the Rio Grande Valley. And this will mostly be an afternoon, evening event. Some of these showers will try and hold on overnight, but most of this will happen later on today, and we'll keep you updated if any of these storms do turn strong or severe. We'll send things over now to Fernanda.
Today, the Public Education Commission will meet in Santa Fe to possibly discuss action on La Promesa's finance situation. News 13 told you about the investigation into the school's director, Annalie Maestas. She's accused of sending a cleaning crew to her house and changing the receipt to make it look like the job was done at the charter school.
How about a check on your morning drive? Take a look at this map across the metro showing no major tie-ups today. As you can see, traffic is slowing just a little bit on Paseo del Norte, heading east right as you get to I-25. But other than that, everything looks pretty good.
Happening today, some Albuquerque police officers will trade in their badges for aprons. Officers will be helping out the staff over at Longhorn Steakhouse near Coronado. It's all part of Tip a Cop benefiting Make-A-Wish. Longhorn says every dollar raised through the event from 1 to 4 will go toward the foundation.
All right, time for the 5 facts you need to know before you go this morning.
All right, at number 5, New Mexicans will get a chance to help victims of the massive flooding in Louisiana by lacing up their shoes. Over the last couple of weeks, flooding has destroyed 60,000 homes in Louisiana. Bosque Running Shop and the Albuquerque Road Runners are teaming up and organizing a 5K run for tomorrow evening at 6:30. There is no entry fee, just give a donation.
Number 4 now, police continue their search for the man who they say shot an officer, sending him to the hospital. Police say 34-year-old Anthony Baca shot the officer after being stopped on his bicycle for a traffic violation Monday night. Police say the officer found out Baca had a warrant out for his arrest. The bullet grazed the officer's thigh. He is expected to be okay today.
At number 3, more spotty to scattered showers and storms favoring areas along and east the central mountains, especially those eastern slopes. We'll go with spot storms here in the metro possible and further off to the west. Temperatures getting back to the upper 70s, but warmer tomorrow.
And at number 2 this morning, an online petition known as the Victoria Martins Act has more than 4,000 signatures. It calls for state lawmakers to increase prison sentences for child killers to life with no chance of parole. Currently, that sentence is only allowed for those who commit kidnapping and rape also.
And on to number 1 now. This morning, APS will be reviewing the process for how school officials investigate and report child abuse. This is to make sure kids needing help do not slip through the cracks. KRQE News 13 recently learned since Victoria Martin's death, there's been an uptick in calls reporting abuse into CYFD. The cabinet secretary says the best thing callers can do is provide CYFD with as much detail as possible on the alleged abuse or neglect. In Victoria's case, CYFD says the 3 suspects were not on their radar for sexual or physical abuse.
And we're not just looking at rain today. We actually have rain in the next couple of days. The good news is Eastern Plains, you're going to get a slight break here as that moisture slowly starts to shift a little bit further off to the west. Tomorrow being game day for the Lobos, make sure you have the rain gear if you're headed out to University Stadium because those hit and miss storm chances. But good news is we're getting warmer heading into the weekend, drier with more sunshine expected for some that 3-day weekend.
And make sure we're their cherry and silver.
There you go.
So ABQ 365 is in this morning, letting us know all of the fun things to do in and around Albuquerque. The news continues on KRQE this morning. We will see you on the other side. Thanks for joining us.